As part of the 11 Madison Park Michelin and Wine Access Club shipment, I'm going to be tasting the 2015 vintage of the Remelluri Rioja Reserva. This is a producer featured on the list at EMP and one that I have personally always really adored. This property or this winery came into a special notoriety in 1971 because it became the first winery in Rioja to produce a single vineyard or a monopole wine. These days, it's headed by a brother and sister team. Telmo is the winemaker. His sister Amaya is the viticulturalist. And Telmo is assisted by a winemaking assistant named Pablo, who actually studied at Chateau Petrus. So the vineyard of Remelluri is located in Rioja Alavesa. That is the smallest of the three subregions, wine-producing subregions within Rioja. And two things that contribute to the characterfulness of wines from Rioja Alavesa are the altitude, very high altitude, which provides a cooling wind that actually allows for the wines to retain great acidity and freshness while still achieving ripeness. And the other is the soil quality. It has a sort of very chalky clay limestone note that really add to the structure and the finesse of the wines. Now at EMP, wine director Gabriel DeBella, he likes to pair this with fried mushrooms with thyme and ginger. He really feels like the spiciness of the wine can stand up to that thyme and ginger, but not overpower it with too much tannin. So let's taste this together. So right off the bat, it's sort of a consistent intensity of ruby throughout. There's no breaking at the rim. This was a great vintage, by the way, the 2015. So even though this has had some time to mature and some time in bottle, this looks remarkably fresh in the glass. And on the nose, you do get that great spiciness. There's sort of a lot of strawberry, cherry, ripe plum in the glass, and a lot of floral notes as well. Definitely getting a little toastiness from oak on the nose, but just overall very perfumed wine. It's hard to spit that one out. That's really delicious, glass. So has this really great texture. The tannins are very fine grained. They're almost silty in quality, like really, really fine and small and very silken. It has sort of a very impressive completeness on the palate where I get this sort of direction happening on my palate here on the finish, but yet it's very sort of voluminous as well. Getting again that kind of red cherry, strawberry fruit on the nose that I got on the nose, also on the palate. And then a lot of savoriness as well. It has this kind of smoked herb on the palate that's coming out on the finish, a little tobacco and cedar as well. A really beautiful wine. And again, if you want to try this at home, I think anything, even if you're not going to make the fried mushrooms with thyme and ginger, anything mushroom related or really any sort of root vegetable, I think would pair absolutely great with this.